All right, man. Welcome to the 290 Mo podcast. I appreciate your time. If you could introduce yourself for my viewers and listeners.
Well, my name is Kerry James. I go by KJ. I'm a singer, songwriter from the GI from Geary, Indiana, my hometown of Michael Jackson, and I'm just here still trying to, you know, share my broad music gifts and talent to everybody else out there that wants to learn more about me and listen.
Okay. You mentioned Gary, Indiana, so let's start from the top. How was it growing up in Gary, Indiana, and how did that influence you into becoming a recording artist?
Well, Gary, Indiana, that kind of influenced me because this is my city that I had grew up in, and not to mention the music part didn't really come a little bit to like after high school. So yeah, and then that it has been some trials and tribulations, but me growing up took a hurdle and it led me to like know certain things about me that I haven't learned in a long time. So as far as that's the music side, it came gradually, so I just have to learn my way in order to like try to fit in.
Okay. You said you didn't really get started to after high school. So before that, what was you doing? What did you think you was gonna do? Did you want to be a doctor, lawyer? What was going on before that?
I want to be an actor, which I still plan to accomplish it because I was into theater, drama. So before and then after that, I used to always draw, and I wanted to create my own shoe line, kind of like how Michael Jordan did when he first, got drafted in the Chicago Bulls in the '80s, early '80s. But first, before he did that, he did his own shoes with Nike. So that came about. So that went. I wanted to become an actor first because I always been in drama. The music didn't come to like after I got out in 2012.
Okay. So it's 2012. Can you remember the exact instant where you started dabbling in music? Did somebody hear you singing in the shower? When did you start writing, creating music?
Actually, it came naturally. Actually, my mother got me my first guitar back in 2012 on Christmas, and I really didn't start playing to like during like probably like the beginning of 2013. But I had to practice and learn during that year of 2012. When I was about 19, and then again I started at the City Hall steps of Geary, Indiana. That's where I got started, and that's why I was able to build my name from that on up all the way until now. Still on hurdles, but I was able to accomplish and have a lot of material and accolades, and a lot of feature articles. I was in a lot of locally, newspapers, multimedia, anything that I could do to keep my name out there in the media. I was able to do that. And, that just transitioned, into like me writing my own songs, and then playing the guitar because I learned it off of YouTube. So I was self-taught. So I taught myself how to do it, So yeah, that came gradually.
Okay. So OG got you the guitar and you started adding vocals to it. When you started that, who inspired you to start adding vocals to it? Besides your OG, like you got any musical inspirations, anything like that? I know you mentioned Gary Homer, Michael
Yeah,
Jackson. You got any
yeah.
musical inspirations?
Well, Michael is gonna be my number one. But my other two that I always love and adore is Chris Brown and Justin Timberlake. But I also have other influences like Luther Vandross, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Stevie Wonder, all those soul legends. But those are like my main three, influences that I look up to and still today.
Okay. You name dropped Chris Brown and Justin Timberlake, and I know both of them are famous for their dance moves. Is that anything that you incorporate into your music?
No, not the dancing part. I mean, I do dance, but it's just more of like their their draft and the passion, not to mention their creativity, and not to mention they are music moguls and they know more about the business, not to mention they're philanthropists, and they have a way, they're iconic, and they know how to connect with their fans and know how to adapt and know how to reach them in a certain way that they want to, be reached. They're iconic. So, if just the same thing with Michael Jackson. They're iconic, their draft, their passion to, like, change the world, inspire their fans and new upcoming artists in the game, and previously to, like, build their own legacy, so that's why I learned from them three on just be that artist and just being humble. You gotta remain humble.
Okay, okay. We talked about your inspirations and your talents with the guitar. So if you could talk to me about your creative process, what's that like? Are you strictly a writer? Are you freestyling? Are you heating up? What's your creative process like?
My creative process goes on how I feel. It goes on how what things have that I've acquired in my lifetime or what I've experienced. If it's far as like my mother, she experienced a lot of hurt and trauma, and a lot of just a lot of disappointments in her life, at times that she couldn't even recover, that she's also trying to work on. So basically, the whole music process is basically about her life story and coming into beginning of me finding my own way too as well. So as soon as I get done with her story, then I'm gonna focus on my own story on how I'm just finding my way. I'm on a journey to self discovery, and it's all about self healing and for letting the people out there in the world getting a glimpse of me, getting to know the real me.
Okay, okay. You mentioned your mother a handful of times. If you don't mind me asking, where's your father and what's your relationship like?
My father is non-existent. We have a rocky relationship. I don't really talk to him like that. Because it's more of a another personal subject. But it's just that me and him don't see eye to eye because he's been not necessarily in my life to begin with. He's been in and out a little bit, but really, to be honest, he really doesn't even know who I am, as far as a person, and far as the music is all kind of new to him for a minute, but he doesn't really understand where I'm going with it. He just kind of like just say like, okay, he's doing it, but what's kind of the reason? So me and him just doesn't vibe, don't click at all.
Okay, is the music and your talent something that you try to share with him, or just since it's a disconnect, you just leave it where it is?
It's a disconnect. It's a disconnect because it feels like he doesn't really understand, and the stuff that I sing about is true. He just blocks it out and forgets it, that some things that he done to my mom is trauma, and he just act like that he didn't know that it happened, but it did happen because I have to hear from the horse's mouth, from my mom, because she's experienced a lot with him, so that right there, I will believe my mom, then I will ever believe him, so that should tell you that me and him really don't got anything in common.
Okay, okay. We touched on your mom, we touched on your dad. Before we move on, do you have any other siblings?
Yes, I do. I have a twin sister because I'm a set of a triplet. So I have a twin sister and a twin brother. But unfortunately, my twin brother passed away at birth when I was conceived. So it's just me and my twin sister. But I have a younger sister that's 5 years younger, but she acts more mature. So she has her own life and she has her own aspirations and goals. So I truly, respect. I truly get along with my younger sister than I do my twin sister. It's just that me and my younger sister see eye to eye more, and she understands me more than my actual twin sister. We have this little shifty relationship where we try to speak to each other and try to understand, but now it's just that. And then I also have an older brother that's 5 years older than me as well, and he's deceased. He got murdered a few years ago. Me and him really didn't have that brother to brother bond as well because he hardly even knew me. So I don't really, you know, uh, I'm disappointed that me and him didn't get to spend a lot of time together, but I don't miss him like that because I didn't have a bond than he had with both of my sisters. But I pray that he's in a good place, and I pray that you know you know that the people that who killed him would get they just dessert. So yeah.
Okay, so I gotta ask you this: with you being in the home of the Jackson Five, have you ever worked on music with any of your siblings? Is that something you got in the works, or is they interested in some other areas?
They're interested in some other areas. I'm more of the music entertainment, side. They got their own, accolades and their own venture business as well, just as my mom, because she's my inspiration. She's working on to becoming a chef. She's in college and she's gonna to become a pro. So she's gonna be starting her own um cooking business, soon. So it's best that she always uplifts her kids like me to just be better than what she had. So yeah. Not to mention, I also got two nephews that I adore. One of them will be 7, and the other one will be 3, and they are just like a ball of light that I love so much. So yeah, they.
Okay, okay. You mentioned your brother getting murdered, and just from me being close to Gary, Indiana, I know a little bit about it. I actually got a friend who lost their brother out there. So, do you find it hard to move around with all the crime and everything going on? Is your plan to get up out of Gary or to change it? What's your mind state on that?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's not hard to move around because death happens every day. I just be very cautious on where I go, and I do plan on to change Gary as much as as possible because, for instance, there's a lot of professional talent in Gary, but nobody has the knowledge to come back and try to do stuff for the community in Gary. Like it could have been a lot of opportunities that Michael Jackson could have helped Gary in a way because since this is his hometown and this is his
He could have rebuilt the whole Gary. He was so rich.
built the whole Gary, but it's just that at that time point of all, we all have to do what we have to do in order to not go back in the past. But it's also you also have to go back and try to fix what is broken, and that's why I want to try to do what he couldn't do. Just help my community because this is my hometown. Even though I was born in Chicago, but Gary is my home that I grew up. I was born in Chicago, but halfway raised out there because I didn't really stay long enough to experience the Chicago natives. But Gary is where I grew up. This is where I came. I've been out here since 2001. You know, 2 decades. And almost a plus. So is I know Gary more than I know Chicago, even though that was where I was born. But Gary is where I was raised, and that's what established me to become the person that I am.
Okay, okay. Getting back to you a little bit more, who would you say you create music for?
Myself, I create music for myself because I challenge myself sometimes to be better. I challenge myself to understand what the concept and what my purpose in life. That's what everybody is confused on what their purpose goal is wherever, if it's singing, dancing, acting, fashion design, anything, cooking, writing a book. We got to have a purpose. Uh we got to have some type of stamina or some type of legacy that we have to leave, not just for this generation but for the next one, and so on and so on. Like to like forever say, you have to do something for people to like remember you by. Like Michael Jackson, he's a infidelity. I mean, not infidelity, but he's what's that word? Iconic, but he's also has um what you call it? Indefinite name. To remember. Like you
Legacy.
said, yeah, a legacy. The world remembers him. They remember his craft, his music, his just his passion. He cared about the world. He cared about the children. He cared about the everybody that he was around. He cared about, and that's what I want to attempt to do on his part as well. Do kind of exact the same thing that he did. He did, just have that creative, you know, remembrance, and that's what I want to do far as what he did to have my name to be remembered forever. Like Michael Jackson is remembered forever, and he will always be remembered and be the king of pop.
Okay, okay. We talked about your close family, but if you don't mind me asking, let's talk a little bit more about your support system as far as friends and your distant family. Do they support your music? Do they support what you do?
Actually, yes. Some parts of me, close to my grandparents. They support. I've told them things about my music. I hardly see them. My mom, she supports me 100%. My sisters, so that everybody support me. My close friends at church, because I have church members that I build a big relationship. That I've gone close by, and other people that I just I cut out my life. I digitally just release, or I just cut out. When you have to move on, you have to cut out excess people that grew up for years, but they turn into like what you call it, like not the same person. They're different, and so it causes them to change on you. Not for what it's not your fault, it's theirs because they've moved on, and it's best for you to move on and just forget about old news and just focus on what you have to focus on, far as making new friendships, relations, and just working with yourself each day, because it's a process.
Okay, okay. Uh, you talked about church a little bit. How much of an influence is that on your music? Is your music always considering the church? Do you make secular music? What's the deal with that?
That I could have found my genre, but church has always been a part of my life because I was raised in a Catholic church, But then again, I turned to God, another contemporary on kind of like the Christian level, but it's more like leading on another, you know, Latter Day Saint. That's where my goal is. I'm trying to lead my life on another path journey, and and it's good because it helped me discover myself, and also it made me feel more confident about me just alone to just be better than the old me was. The old me would have just felt like I don't care about that crap. you know I'm still the same KJ. It's just that I have to do a 380 on myself and just that down a little bit and change who I was inside.
Okay, okay. Let's talk about any features, any other musicians that you work with. What's that like? Are you reaching out to people? What's that like, or is it strictly solo?
Well, yes, it's. I would love to work with another few artists in Chicago. I know this one guy. I know he's a very talented singer, rapper. His name is Jave, which is one of my closest friends that I've known for a long time, and he's a good artist. So we talked about doing a collab song together soon when the time is right, and I know that for a fact. I know soon I would love to work with a few other um artists that's willing, that I feel very comfortable with, that I can, because I read people very well. I read on their spirit, their the vibe, and also the energy. I read on that. So any artist that's willing to rock with my songs and music and catch a vibe, then I'm able to work with them. as long as if it's the right appropriate song that doesn't involve with violence and guns and just killing people, you know.
I feel you. All right, so before we move on, any significant others, any children for yourself? How's your personal family realm looking right now?
Well, children, I don't want kids. I love them, but I just don't. It's just that it's bad timing. It's just that I have to take care of myself before I can take care of another human being, and that's by choice. It's not. Most people might think it's selfish, and most people might think that I'm letting life pass me by, but I'm not. It's just a decision where people is not planned out for parenthood. Anybody is not planned out for parenthood, and most people I know that's not ready to have a kid because the situation that the society is living in, it costs a lot more to take care of a kid than is able to try to like buy a home or invest in a car or anything else like that. It takes money, and also it takes psychological time, and also that right there comes with like stress and just like trying to figure a way out from this situation to another. And I don't want to have to go through that if I'm trying to get my stuff together. If most people can do it because that's how they operate, but me personally, I just don't feel like I'm young, and I'm still have a lot to do that I still would love to do before I can even bring a life into the world.
All right, man. Before I get you up out of here, man, talk to us about the new single. Talk to us about the video, who shot it, with inspiration behind the video. Talk to us about that.
Well, the song single is called it's a song, it's about my mother in general, but it's about our moms. The song, it's called Mother and I, and it's about my mom showing her appreciation on how she raised me and my other siblings to become the men and women that we are, to help us stay focused and drive, and to show that she's a superwoman in her own way. And I work with these people. They're underground hitters. They're a multimedia um um show, radio show from out of Chicago, but they also got a lot in like Virgin Islands, Indianapolis, and in Indiana as well. So they shot the video. Shouts out to DJ Wiz and DJ Key product that helped me with the video, that shot certain scenes that I wanted to shoot. And it's just about women empowerment. That's what the song is about. And I just hope this will reach out to anybody or everybody who sees it and hears it, but also it also relates a message to other people that's other people's moms or grandmas that passed on. And it just brings back that memory and just that inspiration, that women empowerment still. So yes, that's what it is. It's about single moms out there doing their thing, and single dads as well that's also taking the mother role as well. So shouts out to them too. But it also goes out to my mother, unconditionally, because it's about her.
Okay. Since it was about her, how was her response to it? Did you surprise her with it? Did she hear you working on it? What was her response to the song?
Oh, she was a part of it. She was a part of it, and it was released on her birthday, and it was also shot. The video was also shot on my auntie's birthday, who's been deceased for like 22 years now, which is also my mom's sister. So I was thankful enough to shoot it on my mom's sister, on my auntie's birthday, July 14th, and it was released on my mama's birthday, September 4th. Because she's a Virgo. And so yeah, I was just happy that she saw it. She teared up and she got excited, and I just hope it goes somewhere. Because this is my first official video, and I was happy that I done that, and just hopefully enough I'll be able to do more videos and more songs to come, and just sky's the limit. I go with the flow.
All right, man. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you coming on the show. If you
Thank
could,
you so
before you
much.
get up out of here, let the people know where they can find you on social media. Let them know where they can find the single. And real quick, shout out what you got coming up next.
Yeah, the single is already on all music platforms on Spotify. You just it's scary. It's Kerry KJ James Jr. You know, the song is called Mother and I, and it's on all social media music platforms like Spotify, YouTube Music, Apple Music, iHeart Media, and they can find me on Instagram, KJ underscore James 28, and Twitter, KJ underscore James 7030, and Facebook is KJ James, and yeah, so just hope for people to see me soar and sky's the limit. You know, so yeah.
Okay, okay. What you before you go, what you got coming up next? A new single release, a new video release, and a new album project. What's going on?
Well, I'm working on the album, you know, but right now I'm just busy promoting and just working towards each song selection and just going to the studio soon, just recording more songs and doing more videos and possibly, hopefully, you know, getting more into like the acting field and just, you know, doing what I have to do to like make it and just, you know, be a newcomer in this game for people to see me shine and soar. You know, so that's all I'm doing. I'm earning my status keep, and I'm earning my my quota, or just I said no, not quota, but I'm earning my spot to be that new up and coming breakout artist. You know, so that's why I'm gonna do it. You know, because I'm a Leo, so of course, you know, I have to war.
All right, man. Appreciate your time, man. Much success to you.
Right.
Hope to hear back from you when you get to working on some more stuff. So keep your head up. Be
Absolutely.
safe out there, man.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
No problem. In a minute, gang.